Hey. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Yakes87 World Tour. We are back in Long Beach. So we're going to do a pace lap here. A low-speed pace lap. And then we're going to come around and take the green flag. And then we're going to go 87 laps around this tight technical racetrack. And the goal will be to not crash. So we're basically going to be going until down on the bottom left there's the lap timing. 2 donuts. So we're going to be going until we complete lap 87. So we're just going to do a little warm-up pace lap here and then come around and take the green flag. This is fun. What if you do crash? Then we will have to reschedule and try again later. Those are the rules. Distraction. So, I am allowed to hit the walls. Okay, I am allowed to hit the walls as long as it doesn't damage the car. So, like, if I get like a... So, like, iRacing rates the crashes as 0x or 2x for hitting the walls. I'm allowed... it's like a 3-strike rule. So, if I get... You know, walls are different than, like, spin-outs. So, like, if I get a 2x on the wall, then that's it. We're done. If there's any, like, critical damage on the car, then we're done. So we can scrape it a little bit if we need to do that, but hopefully we shouldn't have to. But with that being said, we're going to go try to get 87 laps consecutive in here at Long Beach. And we're going to come around and take the green flag here, going across the starting stand. And the green flag is out for event number 41 on the Yakes87 World Tour. You can see this is a very technical track. I did clock in based on the lap times. We're looking at probably just over 2 hours to complete this. So it is definitely going to be a test of endurance, a test of focus to nail this down. Very excited. This is a super fun road course. It's a very difficult road course. Test of distractions. That too. Distractions as well. Yeah, this is one of the few city courses. Yeah, I think it's the only city course. I guess Montreal kind of counts as a city course, but not really. So this is like the big city course that iRacing has available to it. We're out here in sunny Long Beach, out in California. Very tight corner there. Alright, Banjax. Well, I definitely appreciate you popping by and hanging out for the start here, and thank you for the Stream Loots card. Still working on trying to figure out what I want to do with that exactly, but I've had so many other projects and things that I've been working on that working on Stream Loots integration has kind of been more of a back burner project at this point. I mostly wanted it for my World of Warcraft stuff and less on the iRacing stuff, but then, like, at the same time, I also stopped playing World of Warcraft on stream, other than, like, the other day, so I'm not really sure what we're going to do with that, but well, thank you for the good luck. I really appreciate it. This video will be available on YouTube after the fact, so if you want to see how we go, and yeah, I hope you have a great day setting up your D&D campaign and stuff. It's always good to see you in the chat. I hope you have a great rest of your day, Banjax. Watch Ghostbusters. 10-4. So, we're just completing lap number 2 here. It's a long ways to go still.
33.785.
Gotta make sure not to do that. That's probably the most treacherous corner for me. It's turn 1, this racetrack. Just a very tight corner at the end of a very heavy braking zone. It's actually a very nostalgic pick for me here. Running the TCR Audi, sorry, just pronunciation there. At this track. I actually, my last road course win actually came here at this particular racetrack last year in this car. So, I was actually very excited to kick it off here for Season 2. And drive. This is one of my favorite road course cars. Probably my second favorite road course car. I haven't driven it in a while. So, it definitely took a little bit of practice and warm-up to get, back into the rhythm. But, feel pretty good about it. This is such a great racetrack, though. Long Beach is a fantastic racetrack.
1 minute 32.904.
Run those 132 lap times. The faster we go, the faster this gets done. There's just something I really enjoy about super technical racetracks, especially when it comes to road courses. Like, I feel like I have way more fun on these shorter, more technical road courses. Like Long Beach, Sonoma, Laguna Seca, that sort of thing, versus like the more momentum-based tracks like Red Bull Ring and Watkins Glen.
1 minute 32.529.
Pace myself on the water. We got a long way to go. Started a little later than I had initially expected today. Phone calls and things I had to take care of, but we are off the ground and we are running here in Season 2 of the Yakes87 World Tour, or, as I teased it this summer, Secret Project is officially underway. So the real challenge is this from this one
32.
is less about the car we're driving. This is a very simple car to drive. The challenge here is going to come from staying focused on this super technical track for the entire duration of the challenge. And not making those critical mistakes that could wind up ending the challenge. So, but what a track this is. This track is amazing. This track is fantastic. I don't know what I'm going to talk about for, 2.5 hours, but on lap number 6. I probably should have tweeted that this was happening tonight. I probably should have done that. But
1 minute
that's all good.
32.725.
Alright, we're back. A little hiccup on the stream, but recording should hold out. What do we got for fuel? Looking at 62 laps, so we'll get pretty close
1
to
minute 33.436.
pretty close to lap 70 on fuel. The ovals. Those are the fun ones to run the 87 laps on, because they don't take like a super long time. These road courses, that's where the real endurance test is. Minute and a half lap times, it's not bad, these things.
1 minute 32.872.
It's a lot better. I think one of the longest ones I did last season was actually Sebring. That one was closing in right on like 3 hours or so. See, larger tracks probably use faster cars for those. We're officially 10% of the way through this. Not bad. I do have a league race after this, so
1 minute 32.
that's going to be
0.85,
interesting.
2.
But we are working on the content. I wanted to get this at least started. And at least I'm probably going to do the flight this weekend. Alright, officially got 10 laps in the books.
5.
Just cruising right now.
Minute 32.136.
Alright, new best lap. 32.136. Out for a Sunday drive on the streets of Long Beach. Readjust the chair a little bit.
32.1.
32 120. Like to see it. Now the car's starting to get a little on the slick side with all this heat in the tires from running these laps. So that could pose an interesting challenge as we get deeper into this thing. May wind up just stopping at halfway for tires.
Minute 32.614.
Down the backstretch they go.
Minute 31.9.
Alright, on to lap 15. 31.9. Nice lap. That's an awesome lap. So yeah, I know it's been a while since we've actually hit the track for one of these. But I have, in the process while I was like not running these, I have still been keeping up to date. I've got spreadsheets like tracking the iRacing content. So I've been keeping those updated, adding in tracks and configurations and stuff like that, so we are still going. Currently lap 15 of 87. This was a passion project of mine. I started way back late 2019. I started this project, the Yakes87 World Tour. I was looking for content that I could do that was different, something that nobody's done before. And I just kind of, this is kind of just like, bam. What about 87 laps at each racetrack? And I kind of bounced the idea around for a while. And I was like, you know what? That's not a bad idea. In theory, it's good, but practically, how are we going to make this work? So then I started building out spreadsheets and calculating all the laps and stuff, and just... it just all started, like, clicking. Like, you know, this is my project. This is what I want to work on. And I was streaming it and putting in, like, a lot of effort, and then I kind of just didn't really have the time, as much time as I thought I would, among all my other things. So it just kept being, like, bigger delays, and bigger delays in between each challenge. It sort of, like, killed my momentum, killed my motivation to keep doing this. And I didn't want to just, like, say I gave up on it, because I never truly gave up on it. It was just kind of struggling to find that motivation to get going again, to get started. And then I got Game Pass and was playing around with Flight Sim and came up with, like, this idea of, like, well, what if we were flying to the racetracks? And then I was like, well, what if we added more? Like, what if we made it bigger? Because, like, I wanted it to be like this. I wanted it to sort of feel like a tour. And it did for a while. And we got a lot. I did so much prep work for Season 2. Like, I was working on this thing for months, just trying to do all the planning and get everything set up. I got the teaser videos out and stuff like that. Got all the spreadsheets updated, like full overhaul on all my data. And it's in a really great spot right now. And it honestly feels good. Just be back at it, you know, hitting those racetracks. And like I said, I put way too much work into this project that I don't know if anyone really cares about it but me. But you know, it's my project, you know. It's my big content project that I really want to work on and I really want to finish. I mean, last I checked, there's like 280 different tracks configurations on iRacing, and we've only done 40 of them. So I've got a big chunk of them done. Like, that is a pretty hefty percentage of the tracks that are completed. So it's not like progress isn't being made. It's not like this is an impossible feat. It's definitely a time-consuming feat, but it's definitely doable. It's just about setting aside the time and actually doing it. And I'm actually, like, you know, when I did the flight video last weekend, we got that out, and we got the intermission videos going. And it was finally time to hit the track. I was going to try to do this earlier in the week. I didn't really have the time to do it earlier in the week due to some other things that came up. But, you know, hey, we're here now. And this will probably be good swaths of time on the weekends doing these. Because I know we got several road courses on the way. And some of these are going to take a while. We're going right from here to Sonoma. I can tell you, Sonoma's a monster of a track. It's going to be a ton of fun, though. I'm going to be really good at Sonoma when I'm done with that, let me tell you. But after that, we got some short tracks and some other things. And yeah. It just, I cannot explain how good it feels to finally be in the car and actually doing the challenges again. Like, it's just like a surreal feeling. It feels like I never stopped. It's like we're back in it. we're back. It's business as usual. And a big warm up for me for this was 2 weekends ago. I ran the 10 hours of Suzuka, which if you watched, uh, I was in the car for a very, very long time, and just couldn't quite make it all the way through my third stint. But that was good, like, warm-up practice of, like, being in a car on a technical road course of, like, Suzuka for just such a long time. And I think that really helped me mentally prepare for what I might encounter while I'm doing these challenges. And it's a little easier because I don't have the pressure of competition while I'm doing these, but it still is the focus of just repeatedly, running these laps and running clean laps too. Like, that's the thing, is like, this was done like as a way to kind of force myself to make longer runs on different style racetracks and just generally like work on improving my skill set as a driver with just focusing up and learning new tracks, learning new techniques,
1 minute,
learning new cars.
0.914.
And I'm actually very happy with how that's turned out. Still got a long way to go as a driver to compete at the top levels of iRacing competition. But I feel like the amount of growth I've made as a driver since 2019, and I know like some of you may have seen how I drove from like 2016 to 2019. I was a mess. I know that. Like, I know I was a mess. I didn't know it at the time, but like looking back at some of my old races, I'm just like, what the heck are you doing, So I've definitely made strides to get better, mentally when I'm racing. And I feel like right now I'm at the top of my game as a competitor because I focus up, I run the races, I make smart decisions, I pass cleanly. And we just don't really, like, I'm never really, like, pushing the issue too much, I'm very methodical with my races, very calculated, and it just feels good. And it's, like, it's one thing, like, that, running these challenges and starting this project really helped with that. Like, focus over a long race. Like, you need to take care of the car, you need to focus up, you need to run the laps, and you need to be there at the end. So, I'm super happy with progress I've made as a driver. Like, it's crazy how I've been doing this for 10 years, and just, I felt like for a while there that, like, I was just kind of status quo. Like, I wasn't really doing what I needed to actually get better. It just felt like I was just racing. I wasn't thinking about, like, well, what could I have done differently here? What could I have done differently there? What move could I have done differently here? And, what would have changed the outcome of that race? Something that I could have done differently. And I'm thinking about that sort of thing more. And I'm actually like, that's one of my biggest regrets with iRacing is not coming to that realization a lot sooner, like when I was starting out. And I wish I had that knowledge, those skills back then, because I wouldn't be, where I am now if it wasn't for finally, like, slapping myself in the face and saying, wake up, dummy, you're driving stupid. And, I had several good friends that, helped me out with that, because I reached out, I'm like, hey, you're doing so good, and I'm sitting here struggling, like, what am I doing wrong? And they helped me, and we nailed down some things, and we were working on those things, and I feel like I'm at the top of my game right now as a sim racer. On both oval and road. Like, I'm not like super fast, but I feel like I can hold my own on the racetrack with, most anybody. So just those things, it's just sometimes you just need that, like, that wake-up call, that, like, urge to practice more. And just that change in mentality to, like, focus up and say, this is what I could do differently, and get better as a sim racer. It's been a long journey. It really has been a long journey to get to this point, but I'm so happy that I'm finally at this point. And, you know, this is fun to me. This is kind of relaxing because it's just, you know, we're just sitting here logging laps and having a conversation and just chilling out while also just like getting more familiar with this racetrack. You know, and that's the other thing too, is like running these 87 lap challenges for my World Tour content event is just, it's good knowledge because I'm learning these tracks that I otherwise wouldn't even touch. Like, you know, I'm an oval guy, so like, what would I ever do with Long Beach, you know? And you know, I've already only raced here like twice and lucked out with a win, but it's my last oval road course win. It was actually like, at the time, it was like my first road course win in like 5 years, so that was last year. But you know, this is an awesome track. I've really taken to enjoying the road course side of things a lot more, and part of that was because I started doing these. Because like, I'll look at some of these layouts. Like, one of the ones I did was like the Daytona bike course last season, and it's just like, it's just kind of a stupid looking track. But like, I just sat down and was like, this track is kind of dumb for race cars, but it's available, and I'm going to do what I can to just complete a ton of laps on it. And I learned the course, and it was like, oh, that was actually really fun. Like, you know, you learn some of these courses. Like, the other ones I found were like the Texas infield courses. Like, they're just some small little clubs road courses that I don't even think they ever actually raced on, but they're here, and I ran the laps on them and learned them and actually had a lot of fun with it. So then you get your more mainstream tracks, you know, your Laguna Secas, your Long Beach, you know, your Homestead road courses, and your dirt ovals and stuff. And just taking the time to learn that content and learn those tracks, it's just really fun to me. It's fun, it's calming, and yeah, we're on lap 24. So we're about 30% of the way through this, and it feels like we just started. Like, this is just, time is just flying by right now. Like, this is actually just like, it's calming and it's fun. And I'm just really enjoying myself, and that's what it's all about. You know, this World Tour was like my passion project for years, and I got it going, and then it just kind of fizzled out, and it feels good to you know, finally be back at it, you know, working on my content passion project. Adding in all that extra stuff, the flights and the story videos that we've been uploading over on the Yakes87 YouTube channel is like, it's been cool, man. It's been cool. I scraped the wall a little bit there. Turned too sharp. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna
1 minute 32.63.
settle in and log some laps. If something pops in my mind, I'm sure I'll just rant about it. We still got a long ways to go. But we are well past the 1/4 mark. On this Long Beach challenge. spinning those rear tires off that corner.
1 minute 32.653.
Jesus. If you don't mash the gas, you don't spin the
1
tires
minute
coming out of the front.
32.938.
Who would have thunk?
One minute 31.913.
Oh man, that was a beautiful lap. New fastest lap. My hair's all over the place.
1 minute 32.305.
Whoa, 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 whoa. A little too much speed through there. Gotta be careful. Be bending it in the wall. Not even halfway. Oops, scraped it a little bit.
1 minute 34.042.
Hold on. I gotta put my headset back on. My hair was just blowing around in my face. You just adjust that real quick. It's very distracting. Alright, lap 30. What are we looking at for fuel? Like 37 laps or so. I could potentially get up to like lap 65. Probably going to come in a little sooner than that. 'Cause... yeah. Ow. What was that? Car just slammed down on the track. I think it's because I hit the bump. Hey, thanks, Lee. Appreciate it. Yeah, we are officially underway, finally. Finally, we are underway. And it feels great. I was talking earlier about just, like, how, like, much of a relief it is to finally just be on the track. You know, working on this project that I started, you know, almost 2 years ago now at this point. This is one of my passion projects when it came to creating online content. It sort of just fizzled out. Not because I felt like giving up on it, but it just sort of just ran out of time. And it just like, it was kind of this, we'll do one, and then it's like a month later we do another, and then another month, and then it's another one, and it was just like, it was just kind of just like draining because it was like, well, I'm sitting here like, I've got these challenges I could be doing, but it's like I had other stuff that I had to do and just didn't have the time for it. So once I finished up my plan for stage 1, I was like, you know, we're going to just stop this, and I'm going to wait until I have everything together to come back and do it right. Give it justice. The justice it deserves for the World Tour. So, and I feel like we've finally been able to do that. I wanted to launch it a little sooner, but I'm very happy with the launch time frame we've had. I mean, we've had several teaser videos come out. We had the story videos. We got the flight done. So we flew out to the racetrack, and we're finally here.
1 minute.
It's not either taking that many laps
6.
on. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it absolutely is like it's a super mental challenge, especially on these road courses. Like, you know, the ovals and stuff, like, not a big problem. Like, 87 laps on an oval, like, I run that, you know, 3 nights a week, like over 100 laps on an oval track. But this many laps on a road course, especially like some of these more technical road courses, it's a challenge. It really is. Especially a track like this, like Long Beach. This is just, it's a super technical track with no room for error. And, you know, the main goal is not just run the laps on the racetracks, but it's to do them clean. You know, do it without destroying the race car. So I always had a 3-strike rule when it came to these. So, you know, you spin out 3 times, that's it. You're done. Start over. And it's the same thing with, like, you know, if you get like a 2x on a wall or hit an obstacle and, you know, damage the car, like, that's it. You know, you're done. So it's definitely that challenge, and that, you know, not only just like, you know, running the laps, and I'm running them at speed too. Like, I'm running these at speed. Like, I'm not just like moseying my way around to say, oh, I ran 87 laps. No, I'm running these at speed. Like, I am trying to run like the type of pace I would try to run if I was doing a race in these cars. Yeah, this car is a handful. It's not like super difficult to drive, but it's definitely a handful. The old Audi TCR. Because the main goal of this was, like, I was looking for a way to, like, branch out and create some, like, unique content. And also, like, look for ways to, you know, improve myself mentally as a driver. And just go. So I really haven't noticed much fall off on it. I mean, my lap times have been pretty consistent. It's definitely slicker. It definitely feels slicker, but as far as time fall off, it's about the same. I mean, I'm out here right now. We just completed lap 34, and we're on the same set of tires we started with.
1 minute 32.
I'm still running 32s. So, not a lot of time fall off, but it's definitely handling worse. Especially in those braking zones. You can see it kind of wobbling a little bit more. I actually think this car is, like, super fun to drive right now on these old tires. It's kind of sliding around a little bit. Yeah. Well, that's the trick to it is you don't want to hammer it. Uh-oh, what's going on? Oh, full send. Yeah, but it's like it's actually faster if you don't drive it like that. That's the trick with the front wheel drive
1
cars.
minute 33.
Is the smoother you get off of the corner. Like if you don't spin the tires, then it just goes. Because with it being a front wheel drive car, the straighter the nose is pointing when you put the power down, the better it launches. That's from what I've noticed. Really interested to see what the tires look like on this car after a very long amount of laps. We are approaching the halfway point, though. That 44 is our halfway point. Yeah, the only time I'm using second is for the two really tight corners, that hairpin and then the fountain turn as well. That's the only time I'm using
1
second in this
minute
car.
33.296.
Other than that, it's pretty much third for pretty much every corner. Yeah, this is the 41st track number 41 that I've run 87 laps on. So very proud of that, actually. Very proud of that. And it feels good to kick off season 2 here. Oh man, we got some cloud cover.
One minute 32.61.
Haven't gotten a tire warning yet either, so I think we're in good shape. It definitely does not want to stop as well. Definitely struggling in that heavier braking zone. Pit entrance here is super sketchy as well. That'll be an adventure when we need to come in and for fuel and tires.
32.894.
Yep. Can't imagine how messy that is if you have to make green flag stops during a race here. That's got to be bonkers. Because you got to, like, basically stop on the track right off that hairpin. But yeah, what are you looking at this week that's going to be really good? Oh, nice. How's that going?
One minute 32.541.
Ooh, Mount Panorama and Spa? That is some good racing. Those are great tracks. Bathurst still scares the daylights out of me. So, fun note, it takes about 40 laps for this thing to start handling, like, absolute garbage. This thing is not fun to drive right now. I mean, it is, but it's also just like, it's just sliding. Don't slide into the wall. Oh, yeah, the SR, yeah. Battlefield's going well, need to dial in the graphics. Nice. Very nice. Good to hear. And then between Battlefield and Halo, it's been a pretty good couple of weeks on the shooter front. I was like tuning into a little I Am Lee shooty shoot. You beat Red Bull Ring? Ooh, nice. Yeah, I was tuning into a bunch of you guys bouncing between your Halo streams. That was a lot of fun. It's like you, Blitz, COD, Tri-Souls, Wingman. You guys are all playing Halo together. It was awesome. Yeah, I did get the game installed like 2 days ago. So yeah, I'd love to join in. I'm just nervous because I'm like really bad at shooters. I don't want to bring you guys down. Ah, I hear you there. Well, if anything, you can kind of zen out to the sound of the Audi TCR at Long Beach. All right, I'll definitely keep an eye out for it. Next time I'm free and you guys are playing Halo, I'll just pop in and be like, "Hey,
1 minute
can I join?"
33.473.
All right, fellas, we're officially on the halfway lap. Well, the 15 hours of sleep, that's all. Oh man, I'm with you there. Like, I have not gotten much sleep this week either. It's been kind of a really, just like a long week. I do have this entire next week off though, so that's going to be good fun. Unfortunately, I mean not unfortunately, but I mean like unfortunately for the Glimish side of things, I'm going to be out of town visiting my family, so I won't be able to stream it all next week. However, I am very much looking forward to spending some quality time with the family again. But I'm definitely going to miss the Glim fam while I'm away. But definitely hoping to catch up on some sleep this weekend and get everything packed up and ready to go for vacation. So it should be a lot of fun. All right, we're officially halfway. Just wondering how much longer I want to sit on these tires because the thing is, like, what I'm feeling right now is, like, super sketch. But it's also going to feel like this since we're only halfway on the latter half of it as well. So if I go a little bit further, I should have some better handling tires at the end of this. But then I'm also just, like, pushing myself a little bit further on this one set of tires. Really not too terrible, though. We're halfway, and we've spent a hour and 13 minutes in the session. We did a pace lap and a little bit of, like, prep work for about 5 minutes or so. So, you know, we're looking at probably 2 hours and 20 minutes total for Long Beach, which is really not that bad. I found with a lot of these, since the most common, like, most of the tracks, you're working at like minute and a half lap times or so. So most of the road courses, I say most because there's some that are, you know, super duper long, but most of them seem to clock in right between 2 to 2.5 hours, which is really not that bad. It's like your average endurance stint, right in that 2 to 2.5 hours. Yep, that's enduro. Yep, exactly. Which I'm actually like. So I ran the spa race, and I went in for we were at Suzuka, and I've started the race, and my boys never showed up, so I was in the car for like 2.5 hours, and it was the first time I've really done any like endurance stuff in like a long time, and I was worn out. And Suzuka's like a super demanding focus track, and I kind of just lost focus and bit in the car and just felt really bad. But I had reached my mental limits at that point. But it was also like good to kind of strap in and get that endurance experience so I can rebuild that up. And running more of these challenges again is going to help increase my endurance to be able to run longer stints in cars, so that should a situation like that occur in the future where I need to take a third stint in the car, or even a fourth stint depending on what's going on, I'll be able to do so without risk of getting tired and losing that focus and crashing. So just the more of these we do, the more endurance experience we get, the better we'll be, and at confidently saying, hey, if you need a driver, call me, I can fill in and I won't wreck your car. So that's what I'd like to get to. Enduro tomorrow, Bathurst? I will, I'll pass on that. I'll pass on that. 180 minutes. Oof, 3 hours. Okay, 3 hours. That's not bad. That's not bad. But it's Bathurst. I am not prepped enough to say, yeah, I'll go run a Bathurst race tomorrow. Like, if you were like, oh, there's a Bathurst race, like, next week, I'd be like, yeah, sure, I can run next week. Of course you are. Well, I'll tell you the same thing I told Rankin when he asked me about Bathurst. I'm really good at turn 1. Really good at turn 1. The 9 hours time, Lee, that's at like 3 in the morning for me. I'm not getting up at 3 in the morning to run Bathurst. Welcome to your world. Yeah, I hear you. Look, Lee, I love you. I definitely want to run an endurance race with you at some point. But Bathurst this weekend that's not gonna happen. Maybe if it was like a Watkins Glen or something, but I just don't feel confident enough in myself to be able to get prepped up and go run Bathurst. Canadian Tire would be fun. That would be fun. That's an awesome track. Hey, Sainted Lord, welcome. Look at me go, indeed. Oh, I agree, Lee. Absolutely agree.
1 minute 32.963.
49. Come so far, but we are in the latter half of this challenge. These tires are screaming at me. I don't have graphics at max. So that's probably why. I probably can turn them up a little bit. Not really having frame rate issues or anything recently, but I was having issues for a little bit there. That's why I wound up turning them down. It's mostly after I was closing up shop after my VR experiment. I was kind of fiddling with the graphics to get somewhat back to normal. But I have noticed like no issues with my current settings, so I've actually have been thinking about bumping those up just a little bit. You know, it's times like right now that I ask myself, why didn't I just initially make my account Yakes50? why did I pick an 87? Because then I'd be done. See, the thing is, like, yeah, 99599, yeah, exactly. So, what I actually like about the 87 laps is it's like a unique number. Because, like, you could just do, like, oh, 100 laps. But, like, 100 laps would be too much at most of these racetracks. So, like, cutting it down to, like, 87 is, like, an endurance challenge. But it's not, like, an overwhelming challenge. It's a little excessive on some tracks. But a lot of tracks, it's like right in that sweet spot of, you know, just under 2 hours for the challenge. On the ovals, it's, you know, it is what it is on the ovals, but on these road courses, like that's where the real challenge is, the heart of the challenge is these road courses. Nords, eventually. Eventually we'll do it. Yeah, no kidding. 3-day event for sure. The worst part about Nords is there's like 4 different layouts of Nords. Like, why? I gotta do it 4 times. Because the fun thing about the tour is it's not just every track, it's every layout at every track. Is what my plan is. So like when I did Homestead, it was like the oval and the 2 road courses. You know, when I went to Sebring, it was all 3 layouts of Sebring. You know, when I went to Daytona, it was like the oval, the road course, the bike course, the infield road course. Like, it's all those, like, goofy, small layouts. Like, I have a big spreadsheet that tracks all of it. So... yeah, the goal is to do them at all of them. At some point, so... yeah, I don't... I'll have to come up with a strategy for Nords. Nords will probably be the, we've done everything else, what's left track. Or I'll save it for like a super special event or something. Yeah, the finale, exactly. Like, that was actually my original vision, was like all these tracks, and then we're gonna end at Nords. And then, I don't know, we'll tackle Nords when we get to Nords. I actually am going to be coming in this time, though. We're going to be getting the fuel and tires, and I'm going to take a 2-minute break and stretch out. I also have to use the bathroom. So, I'm going to go do that real quick. Oh, for sure. Make it like a team event or something. He does love Nords, so. It is. Alright, I'm going to be back. Like 2 seconds, I'm going to fill up my water cup, use the bathroom. I will be right back.
Go, 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 go.
There we go. Sainted for Bathurst? Yep. Alright, let's get going. Fainted for Sandown? Okay. I will keep that in mind. I know Lee will probably want to join me for Darlington, right? He loves left-hand turns. Easy mode racing. Alright, I am curious. Oh, 65, 66 on the fronts. Oh, man. No, those tires are screaming. Not as bad as I thought they would be, though. So I had an idea. So what if when we get to Nords, it's like a last man standing race. So we set it up for like 87 laps, right? And we see who can last the longest before like saying, okay, I'm done. Yeah, Lord will go all 87 laps in one sitting, no problem.
1 minute 32.932.
No, I actually, like... So, when it comes to Nords, like, it's probably going to be, like, breaks in between tire stints. Just, like, take, like, 5-10 minutes in between each. Just, you know, stretch, get some food, stay hydrated, and then just get back in the car and go. I don't think I'm... Like, it's going to be, like, in one sitting, but, like... You know, I'm not going to just sit there and go for, like, 12, 13 hours at a time. If that makes sense. Either that or, you know, set it up as a team event and get 3 or 4 guys and say, hey, we're going to go do 87 laps as a team and do it that way. There's plenty of ways to organize 87 laps at Nords. Yeah, for sure. First one to relay 87 laps, yeah. Who gets there first?
1 minute 33.272.
It would have to be within a 24-hour time window because that's the longest you can set a server up for. Yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we get to Nords. We got a long ways to go before we get there, though. Yakes against the World Challenge. But it feels good to just finally be underway here with season 2, though. You know, Long Beach, it's a great track to start out at for season 2. The next track's going to be even more fun. Can't wait for you guys to see what that's going to be. So I have a few folks that are penned in for future events, but for the most part, it's going to be just hammer these out when I got the time, and I've got the time now to actually do these. So do something else. Hey, the worst part about Charlotte is there's like 8 freaking configurations of that stupid road course. There's like 8 different versions of the Roval. It's like, ah. It's done for all 8 tracks. I bet he'd really like the Legends Oval. It's his favorite track. I definitely think I'm gonna be bringing the NASCAR vehicles out to some of these Euro tracks, though. Like, how cool would it be to do Red Bull Ring in the Cup car? Huh? How cool would that be? Or is that offensive?
1 minute 32.656.
Trucks at Brands Hatch? Oh. A little close to the wall there. Do it in a supercar, yeah? What's up in the wall in the pits then, misery? Alright, Lord. Well, thanks for tuning in and chatting. Really appreciated having you here. And thank you for all your help in helping get this up off the ground. It, like I said, it felt like great, you know, finally sitting down and going to the track and running the laps finally. Felt good. I can tell that the track's heating up quite a bit as well as we're getting later into the day. The track definitely feels less grippy, even with the fresh tires.
34.468.
Lap 60. By the way, Lee, how long was the car done with service before I got back? Was I much later than the service was done, or pretty close? I didn't see what the total pit time was. Oh, okay. Fair enough.
1 minute 32.421.
Gotcha. At least I can say I'm familiar with the track now.
One minute 32.348.
Old Porsche Cup car at Nords. There you go. I don't have it, but, you know, there you go. What about the new one? What's wrong with the new one? Oh, okay. We could run the Ferrari. Ferrari at Nords. Yeah, NASCAR trucks. NASCAR trucks at Nords. Oh, that's got to be awful.
1 minute 32.749.
Formula V's at Nords? Ooh, Delara. There you go.
One minute 32.679.
And I am just grooving right now. This is a blast. I'm having so much fun right now. Oh, man. I can't wait to just, like, do these more consistently.
One minute 32.212.
I can definitely tell I'm starting to make a few mistakes. Just running out of focus a little bit. Yeah, it's just iRacing. Why? What'd you have in mind?
One minute 32.225.
Isn't it the same thing, though? Like, isn't Nords just Nords? What's different about the Assetto Corsa version?
One minute 32.704.
Oh, true. True. I kind of like just churning out the laps, though. Because that's like the whole point, is like just focus on just getting clean endurance practice. It's kind of a driver's challenge at that point, and just keeping it clean and keeping it good. Yeah, exactly. Like, we got the chat going on right now. Like, when I was doing this over on the other platform, like, nobody popped in, so I'm just, like, sitting here just, like, turning the laps by myself, and what I wound up doing was just editing down the stream footage into, like, 30-minute videos and uploading those, because, like, there was nothing to watch. Because, like, I couldn't just talk to myself for 3 hours on some of these challenges. But having the, with Glimish and having that real-time chat and that conversation going back and forth, it definitely helps make these a lot better.
Minute 33.518.
To go. 20 laps to go. We have to say them few community games are finally... There you go. That's awesome. Happy to hear it.
1 minute 32.279.
I'm actually closing in on 100 followers myself right now, and I want to do something special for 100 followers, but I have no idea what to do for 100 followers. Might just do like a 12-hour stream or something. I think I'm at like 97 or something right now, so we're super close to finally getting that big 100 followers here on Glimish. Yeah, I might plan like a big 12-hour stream or something for that. I think that would be a lot of fun. Do a little bit of racing, a little bit of RPG, maybe some shooting games.
Minute 32.2.
Okay, that was a nice lap. That was a nice lap. Halo tomorrow? Okay. I should have some time tomorrow to do a little Halo. Just let me know when. I'd be happy to join in for a few games. I really haven't done too many co-stream events, like playing games with other streamers too much. I kind of just do my own thing. Not that it's a bad thing, but the last time I did that was Deceptus and I were trying out a couple different MMOs, so we did some co-MMO streams together. I know I've done stuff with Lord before, and I know you and I hang out all the time and do racing, so, I mean, like, you pop into my stream, I pop into your stream, but, like, we haven't, like, streamed a race together or anything yet. I definitely want to try to get more involved with other streamers if they'll have me, so.
1 minute
This is
32.39.
still something I kind of just, honestly, like, this past month or so, I've been kind of reclusive, just keeping to myself, just doing my own thing. I really haven't been, like, super active around other than like Twitter and my own streams, and I'm starting to kind of come out of that little funk a little bit, so it's kind of wasn't in like a not like a bad place, but I wasn't in like a great place, just kind of keeping to myself. Well, I know I shot your enduro down, but like it's just I don't feel comfortable myself saying like, oh yeah, I'll be able to go do Bathurst. I don't know. I'd have to think about it, I guess. Just I don't know. That track just scares me. Not sure I'm able to. Okay, there we go. We'll definitely whenever we get the schedule for next season, I say why don't you and I pick like 2 or 3 tracks that we both like, and say let's go do those ones once we get the schedule for next season. I think that would be the best way to do it, so we can like pre-plan and like set it all up as like, hey, we're gonna be racing on this day and this track with these cars. I think that'd be the best way to do it.
1 minute 33.582.
So I'll definitely be in touch once that schedule drops off. Yeah, exactly. But we can at least pencil in a couple of weekends and say, hey, we're going to try to make these races work if the timing works up. Oh, man, again? That sucks. Into your own house? Oh, well, that's awesome then. Congrats. Hopefully that works out for you.
One minute 32.702.
Well, I hope everything works out for you. That's going to be awesome. Depending on how the economy shapes up around here, I may be moving as well to something better next year, but we'll see. Kind of settled in my little apartment right now. Oh, nice. You mean like Orlando, Florida?
One minute 31.8.
There we go, new best lap. Well, hey, you know what? If that works out, I'm coming up to see you. Well, that's very exciting. That is incredibly exciting. I love the way the shadows look around here, where it's like the track is all like shady, and then it's like the city roads are like bright and sunny. Sebring is the third weekend of March. Yep.
1 minute 32.185.
It's a good weekend here in Florida, the third weekend in March. Yeah, I totally get that. I totally get that. Alright, lap 75 is done. We're closing in on the finale here. Long Beach. Oh, for sure, man. Absolutely. For sure. Drinks and games. It's a good time. Yeah.
1 minute 32.03.
Yeah, Chuck E. You don't go to Chuck E. Cheese anymore. Are they even still in business? I don't know. Surprised we got a bit of shade here. My PC does not like the shaded track, though. Oh, absolutely. All right, Lee, here we go. 10 laps to go. And a new best lap. We are on the final stretch. You want to know what the craziest thing about deciding to do this today is? In about an hour, I'll be starting an Xfinity race at Pocono. You're going right from 2.5 straight hours of road courses into big, long Pocono race. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. And I got tons of Discord notifications right now that I can't see. I am probably going to, once this ends... Oh my god, a 31.4? There we go. See, look at that. I'm getting better at the racetrack. That's the whole point of this, is to get better at these racetracks. It only took me 78 laps of practice, but here we are. But yeah, once we're done with this, I'll probably wrap up stream, grab something to eat, and then go practice for that. And then I'll probably throw up the stream again when we start the race. Well, I'm glad you made it for this, man. The official kickoff of Season 2, you know, the first event on the schedule. Probably be about a week before we get to the next one, just because I'm going to be out of town, but I'm so excited to have this up and running finally. Yes, Thanksgiving is this week. That's why I'm going to be out of town. I'm flying up north to visit my family. So spend some time with them and probably do a little racing up there. Probably going to be running some C-Fixed while we're up there, because right when we get back from Thanksgiving break, we're looking at Goat Locker playoffs. And the first race of those playoffs is at Nashville. So I want to run some officials at Nashville and get as much practice as I can so that we can kick off the playoffs with a good run. All right, lap 80. Lap 80 is complete.
1 minute 31.508.
I hate those tires on the exit of that corner. It's just narrows that corner up way too much. But I know they're there for safety reasons. Now that feels so good seeing that 80 down there.
74.
It's like, man, all this energy is about to pay off. I feel like this... So, it's really weird because, like, I feel like because I'm, like, kind of getting tired from doing this, and, like, all the repetitiveness of just running these laps back and forth, that last corner there, just... It feels like it's getting narrower each lap. And I don't know why it feels that way. I don't know why it feels like that corner is getting narrower each time I go through there. It's really weird.
1 minute 32.182.
5 to go. What's that sound? It sounded like steam. I don't know what that sound was. It's like a Steam notification, but I don't have Steam open. Weird. Yeah, they sure are, Lee. They sure are just barely hanging on at this point. Well, I've got better tires than I did at the end of the first half, so. Because I did wait until like lap 53 or so to actually come in and get tires, so they're in a little bit better shape. Alright, lap 83 in the books.
1 minute 33.653.
Thing is definitely a handful after 83 laps on this racetrack. This track is just... It's kind of like lullingly exhausting. What made me pick this car? It's one of my second favorite road course cars. I actually really do enjoy driving this thing. Yeah, I'm getting tired. Hold on to her. We're almost there. No, yeah, this track is fantastic. Like, Long Beach is a fantastic racetrack. I love this racetrack. Oh boy. 2 to go.
1 minute 32.0.
Ha! 087. Love that. Love that. Two laps to go. Loot cards?
Minute 32.
All right, white flag. One more lap to go. Lap number 87. There we go. Last corner. Coming to the checkered flag. And event number 41 at Long Beach
1 minute
is done.
7.
Yeah. Oh, we did it. 87 laps at Long Beach. So thank you for watching. I'm going to wrap up the video segment here. So be sure to tune in for the next event. See you later. Bye-bye.